Seems fair to me.
Yes, he did.
Well, if you don't know what fair is, you can't make it.
Donnybrook is made possible by the support of the Betsy and Thomas Patterson Foundation and the members of 9PBS.
Well, thank you very much for joining us for another edition of Donnybrook. Great to have you aboard. Before this half hour is over, in fact, just around the corner, we're going to tell you how you can join us on April 11th for the next Donny Bash. Details around the corner. Let's first meet our panelists, starting with Wendy Wiese from the Big 550 KTRS, Bill McClellan from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Ray Hartmann, columnist with Substack, and from the St. Louis American, Alvin Reid. Well, we're going to start with you, Bill, because we often have news that's not too rosy about the city of St. Louis, but it's now being reported that aggravated assaults downtown are down 18% this year, and property crimes are down 35% downtown, which are really good numbers to celebrate, you think?
Oh, sure. I mean, good numbers are always something to celebrate. You know, if I were to throw cold water on it, I'd say, well, there's fewer people downtown than ever. I mean, if you go downtown, you have to look around to find people anymore. And I think that does help the numbers of, if there are fewer potential victims, you're going to have fewer crimes.
Well, but I would disagree with you, Bill, because, you know, the state wants to take over the police force. And you got people on the police force who are like, oh, it's just so terrible, it's so horrible. And whenever there's incidents downtown, it leads the news and on and on and on. And the reason they got to get control over the, you know, the bed and breakfasts down there is because crime is just out of control in the city. Well, downtown, crime isn't out of control downtown. So that refutes all of that fury coming out of Jefferson City, and that's a good thing.
It's good news, Alvin.
Right. Sure. Well, but Bill does have a point. If there are fewer people working downtown, fewer people hanging out downtown.
Drinking in clubs downtown.
Drinking clubs. That means there's the likelihood of crime is going to be down. Also, don't forget that calling 911 is sometimes difficult. So it's a possibility when people see something, they may not call the police. And there are a lot of little crimes like running red lights, which are rampant downtown that nobody's getting pulled over for. So they're not making...
But that's not an aggravated assault.
No, that's not. It's not.
Hey, Charlie,
That's true.
mean, if you're not prepared, we talk so often about crime, obviously, in St. Louis, and we do it here. If you're not prepared to accept anything positive without a big asterisk, really all you can do is like, we'll talk about it when it's negative, and then when it's positive, we'll make some reason for it. And every downtown,
I just think
every downtown across the country has a lower occupancy if it's office buildings, okay? St. Louis still has all its sporting events, which are substantial downtown, and other stuff. And so it's not like it's obviously compared to when I had Riverfront Times downtown, of course it's different. But, you know, the convention business is not as far off as everybody acts like it is. It's just, I think we have a perception problem, and I think there are some things. I happen to continue to believe that we're not giving enough respect for the residents downtown and their concerns.
Okay.
Well,
so, right.
But I don't think that numerically downtown is as unsafe as a lot of people think.
Well, when I go downtown, Ray, I don't see anybody. I mean, it's kind of startling.
I agree. And in the animal kingdom, because you all know what a zoologist I am, but in the animal kingdom, when the food supply disappears, the predators move along with the food supply. I'm just saying that I think that Bill is right.
Let me just... Okay. Now, Bill might be right, but I want to point out, before I forget, I was wrong on our last broadcast because
You're
I
never
said...
wrong.
No, this was a whopper. I said there were 12 homicide detectives for the city of St. Louis, and Sergeant Charles Wall contacted me. He says there's 36.
Well, that's
So,
yeah.
it was my fault, and I regret the error.
Can I respond to
back to our program already in progress.
I want to say something.
Wait a second, though. If the, as you said, if the perception is that nobody's downtown, and anecdotally, I'm like you, Bill, when I have been down there, you don't see anybody, that is going to dry up the demand.
But
Well,
see,
downtown, what about
for
you?
the supply
Okay,
and
I can give you a specific date. November the 4th, we had our Salute to Excellence in Education. Okay, that was at the America Center, the ballroom.
Right.
All right. Metallica was here that night. The Blues played. I forgot what else was going on at Stiefel. When you drove downtown, it looked like St. Louis had it going on. Now, maybe on this one Saturday night, we did. But I just, when I got home, you know, like I told people, I said, like, you know what? It didn't look bad.
And the next Saturday night, they had Gaffigan and Seinfeld.
Charlie,
Well, that's a good thing, Alvin, and I'm going to shift positions and go with you and say, these numbers are great.
Well,
But
no,
don't forget,
Charlie, can I say one thing?
Be alone on
but don't
the
forget,
limb.
Josh Renaud of your newspaper has pointed out that the police, for 2 years in a row, have undercounted crime, right?
Right.
Sending it to the state and the FBI.
And he's right about that. But the problem I have is when we talk about downtown, what are we talking about? Union Station is rocking. And in all the times I can go back 30 years where it was going to be renovated by Rouse and this, the O'Laughlins have Union Station, which is downtown hopping. Everybody, if you're talking about it, and the Arch, you know, right now the Riverfront Times just had a piece that they got a lot of response from, saying that we have the safest national park in the country, you know, which is downtown. So it depends on how you, if you want to talk about a few blocks of downtown.
I just don't think we do ourselves any service when we say, oh yeah, it's all clear.
I didn't say it's all clear, but it's not.
To be continued.
Why
Next
doesn't
topic.
that
Next topic. We're moving to Alvin Reid on this one. Alvin, it's been reported that the city of St. Louis didn't get its act together and failed to send in the necessary paperwork to Jefferson City to levy a tax on marijuana. As you know, there's recreational marijuana in the state of Missouri right now. The cities can take advantage of it.
I know.
As you know all too well.
Tell us more about it, Alvin.
if you can, you know, speak with the smoke. They didn't tax it. So we're going to lose about $600,000 in fiscal year 2023 as a result of who knows what. They don't even know which department was responsible for it. Big deal or not a big deal?
Big deal, because that's inexcusable. As much as, you know, fun as I have, and serious, you know, about like getting gambling legalized and you know, the pot and all that, as much fun as we have with it, the reason you're doing that is for the money. And if you're just going to let the money fly out of the window, that's inexcusable. Trust me, Illinois was taxing from hour one, day one, and keeping count. I'm sure they're doing it with the gambling in Kansas. Like, they're not going to miss a dime. Now, we got out here on this limb, and we know a lot of people in the state voted for it, but there's still a lot of people that really aren't down with this. But the reason you're not hearing from them is because we're getting paid. So if we're not getting paid, then...
I was reminded of Trip Froelichtein, the late, great Trip Froelichtein in Media Masters, and he was one of the first ones to go to some of our Fortune 500 companies and teach them how to deal with the media. I know that that's probably not in the budget, and it certainly would be way down on the list of priorities, but when you hear somebody from the mayor's office, Nick Dunn, saying, wow, you know, that's a huge surprise. We're sure glad they brought that to our attention. That's disheartening.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I like when a public official or a spokesperson says, you know, this is our mistake. We didn't know that. Thank you. I think that's a good response.
I don't.
The pot, you know, maybe the people in charge of collecting were
maybe they're a little
kind
too
of
relaxed,
enjoying themselves, the music and
no doubt.
letting it slide.
I keep noticing Mrs. Reid's got this green tie on. Maybe
Christmas.
there's some.
Christmas.
Okay, Christmas. Got pot. Okay. No, and I have to say, I generally agree with being honest. Private media being a nice thing, but you know, this is one of those stories that it's just not okay. And I keep saying, okay, now what? In other words, the mayor's office doesn't get to just say, our dog ate our homework. I mean, it's $600 grand in a city that needs the money. And I keep waiting to think, okay, what are we going to do about this? And it's like, oops. You know, and it's just something very unsettling
now,
about that.
how about $280,000 in this week's Substack column? You write about St. Louis County, which denied Chief Tim Fitch, his police pension when he sat on the St. Louis County Council. The courts kept ruling with Fitch, and so now the county has to fork over not only his the pension he was due, but $100,000, $105,000 in legal bills and interest and more.
It's hard. I tried to kind of uncomplicate this in my column because it can get really murky. Bottom line is, when you work for the St. Louis County, as Tim Fitch did for 31 years as a police officer and chief, money's taken out of your about 17% is taken out of your paycheck and put away in a pension fund. And so you have it, for somebody that's worked 31 years, it's a nice $84,000 a year lifetime pension. I think we'd all agree police officers deserve that.
Yep.
Okay, so he gets on the county council, and really, in a very hostile and I think unforgivable act, Steve Stenger, who didn't like him, decided, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call you a full-time employee, and we're going to suspend that $84,000 while you make your
You'll have to give us a quick summary because we're going to go to play.
Bottom line is, the county was wrong then. They had a chance to fix it. Sam Page, for petty reasons, didn't. And as a result, the box score is this. The city ended up paying at least $265,000 plus whatever legal fees it spent, the county, to fight for the principle that if you work for St. Louis County, you should lose your pension benefits.
So at least $280,000, $260,000.
I'm sorry.
Are we going to come back to this on the other side of the break?
Maybe we'll come back to this on the other side of the break.
It's just a complete waste of money. And there was no, right now, if you're working in St. Louis County, we'd love you to, in your retirement, run for county council and not lose your pension.
Well, all I got to say is maybe Chief Tim Fitch can make a contribution to 9PBS, and we'll tell him how.
Hi everyone, I'm Mardia Crowder, Member and Viewer Experience Manager right here at 9PBS, and I hope that you are enjoying this exciting conversation. It's always exciting with the Donnybrokers, right? But another exciting conversation with the Donnybrokers here on Donnybrook. And you know what? When you become a member, give us a call at 800-568-9099. We have some amazing thank you gifts that we want to send to you. If you are enjoying this conversation right now and you're like, man, you know what? I wish I could see them in person. Guess what? You totally can. Like I said, it's our way of saying thank you so much to you, because without you, we couldn't continue to do programs like this, Donnybrook. You know, we couldn't continue to share this information on air with you like we are without your help. So let's dive into the thank you gifts. So at the $75 level, one time you will receive the option of that great 9PBS mug. That's a great campfire mug. You know, you see the Donnybrokers drinking from that every single week. Or you can receive one ticket to the Sheldon at April 11th next year, and it's at 6 p.m. to see Donny Bash. That's Donnybrook live studio audience at 6 p.m. It's a little earlier this year, so you get a springtime Donny Bash, and it's so exciting. Then at the second level, we have $12 a month. You don't have the option, y'all. You get to see and have both of the mug and see the Donnybrokers. So you get two tickets to Donny Bash and that amazing mug that I just told you about. And the Sheldon, the event Donny Bash, is absolutely amazing. It's my favorite event of all time every year, and I'm looking forward to meeting you there. You get to see the Donnybrokers. Like I said, I'll be there. It's my favorite event of the season, you know, so come join us. It's a great party. Be a part of the community. Join the 9PBS community and become a member right now. Give us a call at 800-568-9099, or go give us a call, text GIVE to that number too, or go to our website at 9pbs.org. That's NINEPBS.org. So it's an amazing, amazing time. You don't want to miss it. But right now, we are going to go over to the table with the Donnybrokers and my friend Yale Hollander.
Thank you, Mardia. We are at the big table with the entire Donnybrook team. This is great to have everybody here. And you know when you're going to be able to see this assemblage again, live and in person, on April 11th at Donny Bash. If you become a supporting member of 9PBS, you too can be present here with the whole group. It is a community celebration. It's like St. Louis's Oscar night. Wouldn't you agree, Charlie?
Only more exciting with more beautiful people. Yes. No, and it's our big fundraiser. That's how we raise money for 9PBS, and we're proud to know that in the first half of 2023, 9 PBS enjoyed a higher percentage of households than any other PBS station in the country in terms of viewership. Isn't that amazing?
That's it. That is
It's a big part of this community.
real testament.
That is great. And the station, we're just been very fortunate to be part of it
Yeah.
for this long time. And shout out to Oscar. He, you know, I believe he was at Donny Bash, wasn't he? There was a guy named Oscar.
Different
I met him.
Oscars.
Oh, that was
different Oscar.
Oh, I thought I met him. I think it
joke
was
went over my
his
head.
wife,
Yeah.
with his lovely wife. It wasn't even a good joke.
But don't worry, Will Smith will not be at Donny Bash.
We don't
I don't
think.
think.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know.
I certainly hope not. For my sake, since I usually MC the pre-show, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So
You don't.
we'll just hope it. But it is a community celebration. We have audience members that cross all geographic areas in the metro area, all age groups. It's just a great coming together. And the one thing is that not everybody agrees, just like us at the table. Not everybody agrees with everybody else. But the one thing we all agree on is that Donnybrook is a St. Louis treasure. And this is one time a year when you get to be a part of it. When before the show, there's a reception, cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, very classy. Far classier than we probably deserve, but yet there we all are. So you get that. And then you have the show. And there's a Q&A session during the show. So you have an opportunity to interact with the Donnybrookers at that point. And then after the show, there's usually a lovely dessert reception where you can then go and recap the show with the Donnybrookers and with your fellow Donnybrook enthusiasts. So April 11th at the Sheldon, $75 gets you a ticket, or if you want the coffee mug, we understand. But you can come to Donny Bash.
Now, I do not understand why someone would want the coffee mug instead of joining us. I think
It's a pretty nice coffee.
They are really nice coffee mugs.
your house is
but
full of stuff.
that's
You gotta
right.
need
It's a
enough
pretty
stuff.
nice coffee mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. The experience is better than the coffee mug, but the coffee mug is terrific.
You make it sound really good. I'm thinking of coming there. You make it really sound good.
There's probably a quarter of the audience who hope that doesn't happen.
I think it's a little higher than a quarter.
and well,
but that's
maybe
okay.
Bill and Wendy,
Yeah.
so.
Everybody else might be
you're
different.
Now, Ray, you're a stand-up comedian right now.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I'm the
stick around.
boss.
Enjoy the buffet. He's the comedian here. Enjoy the buffet. I'll be here.
All right, we're gonna send it back to Mardia.
I love that y'all said that it is like the Oscars, because it totally is. You get to see us all dressed up and fancy at a cocktail hour, come meet some of the 9 PBS staff and the Donnybrookers, which is, that's what we're all there for, right? So we want to invite you to join us on April 11th at 6 p.m. to see Donny Bash live. You get to be a part of the live studio audience. It's amazing. And so when you become a member right now, give us a call or text GIVE to 800-568-9099. And the first level, at the $75 level, you have that option of receiving that mug or a ticket. So, you might want that mug. That mug is amazing. You can be like your favorite Donnybrookers every single week. I know I caught my dad drinking out of that mug on Thanksgiving. It's pretty exciting. So I know I adore it, but I also really adore being a part of Donny Bash. There is nothing that beats that live studio audience feeling. You thrive in that energy. And you get to hear, if you love the kind of conversations that they have, well, you get to hear it live in person. So then at the $12 a month level, you receive 2 tickets and that mug. That's right, you get 2 tickets to see Donny Bash live. So you can take your friend, take your spouse, take a random person that you just want to have a good time, but bring them to Donny Bash on April 11th at the Sheldon. You also get that mug. So like I said, this is our way of saying thank you so much, a hearty thank you for becoming a member. Give us a call or text GIVE at 800-568-9099 and become a member. Join the 9 PBS family, because we cannot, and I can't stress to you enough, we cannot continue to do work like this without viewers like you. So right now, we're going to dive right back into a fascinating conversation with Donnybrook.
Thank you very much, and we will see you April the 11th, if not sooner. Wendy Wiese, I want to ask you about the WashU professor. I think he's a political anthropologist or a sociological anthropologist. His name is Brett Gustafson. And he tweeted this week that he condones something called estrage tactic. That means humiliating someone at their home. And that's what some pro-Palestinian protesters did at the home of the American Israel Political Action Committee leader in Los Angeles. They showed up at the fellow's home. They poured paint that looked like blood all around the place. They threw some canisters with smoke. They banged on pots so no one could rest or sleep. And the WashU professor, said that's pretty cool. He said that's one way to get your message across. What do you think? Should protesters be at the homes of public officials like they were with Mayor Lyda Krewson or Senator Josh Hawley?
They always have been, and yet this seems different. This just seems very different. I think when you read that this is a Washington University professor who is condoning this, and in its statement, Washington University said, "We will not condone intimidation or bullying or these kinds of aggressive tactics," but Professor Gustafson, sorry, I'm not doing very well with the Norwegian, but that he is still employed by Washington University. So in fact, to my mind, you are kind of condoning it. So it's a very slippery slope for the university, in my opinion, and the professor, he's got to know that he's scaring a lot of the students. Phyllis Schlafly, remember, she was intimidating to some of the students there. So he can be too.
Let me say, first of all, I do not think absolutely that anything should happen to his job, or he's got a free speech right to say this. I think we ought to get a group together, those of us that find what he said appalling, and we should go to the professor's home and let him know what we think about it. Because you have a right to do it, but that doesn't make it right. You have a right. I didn't like it when protesters went to Hawley's house. I didn't like it when they went to the Lyda Krewson's, that famous time. Of course, I didn't dislike it enough to like the McCloskeys to bring
your cocktail hour
to aim weapons at them. But the point is, I don't ever like that. And Sam Page had the same thing. I don't like it, but it's within your rights, but it's also within the rights of others to say, this is the wrong way to resolve things.
But now,
and I don't think the professor would like it.
The professor is saying is that he's saying, like, listen,
go to his house.
All I'm saying is that it is a tactic. It is not illegal, although the vandalism is, okay, and they should be, like, arrested for that. But I'm just bracing it down to the simplest of the Bill of Rights and your freedom of assembly and freedom to protest. And maybe he's just saying that it is a tactic. I can say that I support it because it's within our Constitution that it is okay to do this. I think it is the subject matter, which is what is driving everybody crazy. I mean, like...
If it was the Klan, though, Alvin, right? It would be the same reaction, correct?
But if the Klan came to my house, no, I don't mean to laugh, but seriously, I would just say that, like, okay, look, all right, the Klan is outside my house, all right, but at the same time, I can't tell the Klan to beat it, just like I couldn't tell those people in the street in Ferguson
people can
to beat them.
But Alvin, people could, that's his whole point. I'm all for their right. I'm not saying they should be arrested. My point is, it falls on the rest of us. If the Klan shows up at your house,
we'll be there.
That's not the question. That's not the question.
That is the question. We should condemn it.
I remember when pro-life people went and demonstrated in front of the home of Ken and Marjorie Smith because of Ken Smith had favored the right to have a person withdraw a substance in a hospital. And the pro-life people came, and Ken and Marjorie went out with hot chocolate and served them hot chocolate. I mean, people have a right to protest. They just do.
Of course they do.
And I agree that the professor has a right to say, hey, it's a tactic.
Well, I don't like that.
The
You know
people
what?
who are going to react also have that right,
In,
correct?
in Boston, they put restrictions on streets that you can't protest in certain residential neighborhoods because people have to sleep, and denying sleep is against the Geneva Convention.
I'm on the side of the Bill of Rights and your right to assemble. The issue is whether we should end the conversation there. So the professor, he's technically right, but that does not mean you don't have the right. I think the Klan example is perfect. You do not, the rest of us, when we see this kind of stuff, also have a free speech right to say it's wrong as a tactic to intimidate people at their homes.
But I'm not,
That's
okay,
right.
that's fine. But, all right, and by the way, I don't want people to, I'm not, I am in no way, shape, or form comparing these people who are Palestinian to folks in the Klan. I mean, now, come on. We might got a difference of opinion, but let's not go there.
No, okay. Well, how about you interview this week with Darlene Green, the longtime St. Louis comptroller, who was the subject this week of a Jacob Barker piece in the Post-Dispatch. He quoted a lot of anonymous sources indicating that she doesn't go to the office. She might be there once or twice a week. We do know publicly that she's been sued by the courts and maybe even the police officers because of lack of payment. People are complaining that she isn't paying the bills on time, and it has been demonstrated that out of about 95 positions in her office, about 25% are vacant right now. So what did she tell you, and does she need to get her act together?
Okay. First of all, she said, like, I take responsibility for any errors that my office makes. She came clean on that. And she listed a new accounting system was put in that she voted to approve. But she also said that, listen, we cannot go to things, especially payroll, without testing this out against the system that we had previously. That was never done. So out of the blue, you find out there's all these errors and there's problems. So, they are still working to correct that. When people, anonymous sources and disgruntled folks start saying never at work and blah this and blah that, I take all that with a grain of salt. Could they be doing better? I think she acknowledges, and I think we all acknowledge, yes. But, I mean, St. Louis holds a top-notch credit rating, and it's the one office that seems to be functioning in the city of St. Louis and has been for the last 20 years. I just, maybe it was just...
She's got a great record, and I thought the story was terrific, though. I always like it when somebody digs into a office holder, and yes, the sources are going to be anonymous. I mean, the people who work for her don't want to be out there in the paper saying something, but I thought it was eye-opening, and I think that it makes Darlene work even a little harder.
I think that anonymous source context, though, probably would really help and be somewhat revealing. The city of St. Louis, I have areas of improvement that I'm responsible for. We all have areas of improvement. The city of St. Louis is no different. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, Darlene Green is not an issue in the city of St. Louis.
Well, the vendor who cleans Aunt Lambert says he's going to quit because he's not getting paid.
Well, I mean,
if that's the payroll
and
system.
if he can't, I'm sorry he's not getting paid, and it's a mistake.
The police officers are going out to Joplin using the city credit card, and it doesn't work because it's not paid.
Okay, so Charlie,
she does not have the manpower that she did, like everybody else. Well, so does the police department.
Right.
You couldn't run a private business like this.
It's not a private business.
That's exactly right.
Right.
You got to get this.
Now wait a minute. Hold it. The one office that's halfway running.
How about that? She's not in the office.
Right.
She's in the office 2 days a week.
I don't know that that's to be true.
Can I say something?
You don't know that to be true. Somebody who did.
It's a Jacob Barker reporting.
Well, she's only in the office 2 times a week, said somebody I don't want to quote.
Did she deny that?
And she works
she didn't
remotely.
deny that, though.
No, she says she works from home.
She works remotely 24/7. She said she is always available.
Can I say something,
And Linda
Charlie?
Martinez, who worked for the previous administration, says she's got to be around to sign the contracts in a city of this size.
Charlie, can I make a point?
Linda
a couple
Martinez.
points. One is the city needs more problems like Darlene Green
I agree.
for 25 years. As far as the papers, sure, using anonymous sources is fine. This ain't going to win a Pulitzer. I mean, it's okay. I didn't think it was a bad story. I didn't think it was like, I mean, if this is
That
what
was
passed,
an interesting story.
I think it was.
If you're not getting,
I found it disinteresting,
if
but
the
I
cleaning
got it.
contractor is ready
I
to
didn't think it
quit
was
at
great.
Lambert, that's a great
Okay.
story.
Oh, that's a huge. I mean, what a week.
That's a huge
Yeah,
story.
I was going to say, here we are in Hicksville, USA.
Well, the city's got to pay its.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
the
well,
city
oh
does
my
pay
God,
its bills. I
city
mean,
laden paying bills. What are we like? Are we in like? I guess we're like Poughkeepsie or something. You know, the point is, sure, it's okay. It wasn't a bad story. In fact, it's anonymous.
Okay, but get to the point.
But the point is that overall, I don't think she is doing. I didn't come away convinced she was not doing a good job.
I came away with the feeling like, so what is this? Like, it's her turn? You know, like...
That's what she said.
There's a little bit of truth in that. I mean,
There is.
So
we
what?
should look at different offices.
I don't have a problem with him looking at it. I just
That's
kind of,
right.
if I would have been the
She's had a
editor,
stellar career.
Yes, she has.
if I had been the editor, I'd be
herself
looking at.
eloquently in The American.
I would have been
Okay,
as the
got to
editor.
read The American for more information on that story. Meanwhile, if you want to join us April the 11th for a conversation like this one that you can see up close and personal, wouldn't that be great? Join us for Donny Bash, and here is the way to do it.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope that you are enjoying yet another lively, exciting conversation that we're having with the Donnybrokers. I know I love this show so much, and you know what else I love? I love Donny Bash, that's right. And you have the amazing chance to be there in person, live studio audience with who else but Donnybrook. So we're gonna invite you to the Sheldon on April 11th, and you get to come to Donny Bash. So let me tell you about some gifts though, because this is our incredible way of saying thank you so much. Think of this as a warm hug from us to you, when you become a member. So at the $75 level, you have the option, and this is an amazing hard option, I know, but you can choose between the mug, that exquisite 9 PBS mug right there, or you get a ticket to see Donny Bash live at the Sheldon. The Sheldon is personally one of my very favorite venues here in St. Louis, and that's on April 11th at 6 p.m., and it is an amazing event. You don't want to miss it. Then at the $12 a month level, you will receive both 2 tickets and the mug. That's right, 2 tickets and that mug. This is an incredible gift to anybody, any of your loved ones, or a gift to yourself. Who doesn't like to treat themselves, right? So give us a call or text GIVE to 800-568-9099. So like I said, text GIVE or call 800-568-9099. Come on down to Donny Bash. This, like I said, it's an amazing event of the season. You don't want to miss it. This is our way of saying thank you. And you get to meet some of the 9 PBS staff, and we would love to meet you in person and just tell you thank you so much for your generous contribution and helping us to sustain our work that we do. You love this show like Donny Bash, you love shows like Nature and Nova, all of your favorites. We can't do without you. So give us a call, text GIVE 800-568-9099. But right now, let's hop on over to the table with the Donnybrokers and my friend Yale.
What's happening?
And we're back. Thank you, Martia. We are here with the whole Donnybrook crew, and you too can be with the whole Donnybrook crew this coming April the 11th, springtime, when young people's fancies turn to thoughts of love. They can also turn to public affairs, robust public affairs discussions. The Donnybrook crew.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
What is this program, Reid?
Pull a muscle.
Say like, right. Well, we were, right before we came back, we were being naughty.
That's right.
All right, so it's Christmas time. These are great gifts.
Oh, my
right?
gosh, yes.
Seriously. Somebody would be excited if you say, like, hey, I got you 2 tickets to Donnybrook. And I know it seems like usually it's in the summer or the fall. April will be here soon, and you need to buy your tickets now because it's April 11th, and 4 days later, no one's going to have any money. Everybody's going to be broke.
That's right.
So,
These are great stocking stuffers.
They are great stocking stuffers.
A couple of pieces of chocolate and a ticket to Donny Bash.
And they usually go for $1,000, but we've marked them down to $75 for this night only.
Just for you, the 9 PBS supporters.
Yeah.
But wait, we're going to throw in some steak knives. I'm kidding.
No.
Not really.
Right.
Not really.
I mean, messy, Donny Bash.
Yep.
Right. It's like the hottest ticket in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Coming up in April.
That's right. And it's indoors, unlike soccer where you have to sit outside. So we've got that going for us as well. Although soccer in St. Louis, we've got that going for us as well. But it's a Thursday night, so there won't be a game, so you have no excuse whatsoever. The Cardinals will be on the road. The Blues play the night before, so there's no excuses. You got to come to Donny Bash, become a supporting or a sustaining member of 9PBS. Get those tickets. You saw the graphic before. They're golden tickets. I don't know if that's an homage to Willy Wonka. There it is on your screen right now. The golden ticket. You cannot get admission to Donny Bash by opening a bunch of candy wrappers. You have to support 9PBS in order to do that, and we certainly hope to see you on April the 11th. It is going to be one of the shining moments of the St. Louis social calendar.
May I point out, as you know, when you become a member, you get the 9PBS Passport, which I've just taken advantage of. There are a treasure trove of great shows. I'm watching a French one now called Paris Murders, and it's excellent, and you can watch it anytime you want, along with probably another 200 or so quality programs.
My wife and I are big believers in that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Have you seen Paris Murders?
No.
Is it about a provocateur who takes out his panel of local community
In Paris.
in Paris, yeah.
Oui, c'est ça.
But no, it is what's so wonderful. One of the many things about Donny Bash is that people who might disagree about politics are in agreement about 9PBS, honestly, and how cherished a part of your life 9PBS is. And so it's a fun celebration for all of St. Louis, as Yale said.
I don't know if I agree with you. But no, I actually, I'm still trying to
Ray
figure.
disagreeing with Wendy. How about that? I think that's a good place to send it back to live action. But first, Martia.
I love the idea of those tickets and that mug being a great stocking stuffer. You know, can you imagine Christmas Day, you reach in your stocking, you're like, what? Look, I'm going to Donny Bash. You know, and like I said, this is an amazing, amazing event. We love it. It's a great way for the staff and the Donnybrokers to come together and meet with the community. You know, those of you that help support and sustain our work here. Because like I said, we can't do it without you. So if you're thinking about becoming a member right now, you're kind of on the fence, let me tell you exactly what we would give you if you become a member right now. So at the $75 one time, you get the option of that awesome campfire 9PBS mug. I love this mug so much. It's, you know, it's big enough to hold a pint of ice cream. You know, I mean, like, that's kind of my favorite thing. But you can also put that in there, or your hot cocoa, or whatever, you know, your favorite drink. You also get the option of that ticket to see Donny Bash live right there in that studio audience at the Sheldon on April 11th. So at the $12 a month level, though, you become a 9PBS sustainer, and this is an exclusive sustaining membership level gift right here that you get two tickets to see Donny Bash and that mug. So no option there. You get two tickets and the mug, both. You know, and like I said, you can treat yourself, or you can give that gift to any of your loved ones, but give us a call or text GIVE at 800-568-9099, or go to the website ninepbs.org. So become a member right now. We would love to have you. This is our way of saying thank you so much. So join us at Donny Bash. This is our very favorite time of the year to meet with you. And we'd love to say hi, shake your hand, you know, and give you a great time. Plus, you get to meet those Donnybrokers. So, but right now, we are going to go right back into the rest of an exciting conversation with Donnybrook.
Thank you very much for joining us. Alvin, Reid, we're going back to you. There was on the 13th, I guess, horrible homicide. Is there any other kind on Wydown in Clayton? And it turns out that the accused killer, someone by the name of Terrell Johnson, was out on bond. He had been arrested in the spring for leading police on a chase, for pointing a firearm at a police officer, for crashing his stolen vehicle into a bus and a truck. He gets out on a $3,000 bond with an ankle monitor. but the GPS battery faded. It went out. And so the guy who was running the GPS company in St. Peters, the company's called Community Services, sent a notice to the judge and said, look, this guy's GPS bracelet isn't working. We're no longer covering him. That was September 7th. And then on October 12th, Terrell Johnson's in court for pretrial assessment. And even though this letter's in his file, in the docket, the judge didn't do anything. The prosecutor's office didn't do anything. I'm starting to think that maybe we shouldn't have GPS monitors if people aren't following them. What do you think?
Well, okay, first, the prosecutor's office, Wesley Bell, did not want this guy to get bail and be out on the street. Now, that doesn't excuse if they missed whatever's in this file. But, and Bill, not that you wear an ankle bracelet, but I do, when you said that, I got a question. Is there like a green light, red light on these things where like the person who has it on knows when their battery is like
I believe
not
so.
working?
I think so.
Okay, well, they should eliminate that, all right? Because that's telling
That's
them
a great
you can run
point.
free. All right, but if it's not going to immediately like set off an alarm someplace where, okay, like the second like it happens, like the police are notified, and then there is a structured way where you go find this person and say like, hey, we've got to, recharge your battery, then they're useless. And, this, if you're going to give somebody one of these things and it's not going to operate, then once again, maybe we need to revisit, why are they out on bail in the first place?
Well, of course, this young man was out on bail because the organization cash bail,
Bail project.
Bail project.
The bail project.
The bail project.
paid his way out.
I agree with Alvin on the this reminds me of that $600,000 in the city thing. It's like, this shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
If you've got somebody on a monitor, the big story here, I know you want to talk about the bail, but the big story here is like, okay, what's going to happen now? I mean, somebody needs to ask the system. As far as this whole bail thing, we've talked about it before, the bail project provides cash for people who are incarcerated or held before their trial for the strict and sole reason that they're poor. Okay, there are two reasons you should be can I finish it?
No.
No, I can't. Okay.
When you're saying that for the sole reason.
That's it.
For the sole reason this kid was in jail was he was a reckless young man who got in a police.
I didn't say that's why he was in jail. I'm saying it's why he wasn't let out. The bottom line is there are two reasons not to let somebody out on bail. One is if they're a danger. This is it. One is if they're a flight risk, and the other is a danger to the community. This guy should never have gotten bail.
Okay, very
well. But the fact is, the bail project is not the one who released him, and their role on it is only to provide an ATM. The judge or whoever did, the system released him, not the bail project. Their only role is to have served as an ATM for him, and they didn't let him out.
And they got him out.
But they did not get him out. The judge let him out. The judge let him out.
Ray, if they had not intervened, he would have stayed.
And if he had a brother that let him out, would you be mad at the brother? The point is this: it's got nothing to do with that. Let's talk about the judge who let him out.
Because of time, let's move along. Bill McClellan, I want to ask you about the home of the county executive, Sam Page. As many St. Louis County property owners know, assessments are going up for about 97% of property owners this year, St. Louis County. But there's a lucky 2.5% that are seeing their assessments going down, and the county executive himself, Sam Page, is among them. Even though he is one of 5 homes in a cul-de-sac, and all the other 4 homes also had increased assessments. I don't know, is this a coincidence? Random things do happen, don't they?
Well, I suspect Jake Zimmerman. I mean, he's the assessor. And Jake, and I'm being a little facetious here, but Jake Zimmerman ran against Sam Page in the primary. Jake Zimmerman would like to be county executive. And this is a great thing for the enemies of Sam Page, and we are legion. But all of a sudden, there's Sam's. How come his home is going down in value? Well, and everybody's mad at Sam, but it really wasn't Sam that made that call.
I love this because when I first saw the story, I thought, boy, Jake Zimmerman, he didn't like Sam Page much the last time. Why would he do this? McClellan over there is playing 3D chess while we're doing checkers. I mean, All praise to my fellow founder. That's amazing.
My first thought was Jake Zimmerman ain't doing Champagne no favor. So where's this coming from?
I think we got our answer.
Chapter 1 of your novel. I think that's chapter.
I think we got our answer.
Real quick, I think the 4 other families on that cul-de-sac ought to protest in front of the
there you go.
Exactly.
Get the professor. Maybe the professor can round up.
Ray, what did you make of the Detention Facilities Advisory Board, which is the jail review board? This week, according to all the media outlets, we're going to finally have their tour of the downtown jail, and that's part of the reason they were put together, so they could tour the facilities. They were put together, this organization, 9 members, in March of 2022. They met this week with the warden, but they didn't see the kitchen, the medical facilities. They didn't talk to a single inmate. They didn't talk to a single corrections officer. They still don't have their tour.
I think the lack of transparency and the acceptance of oversight is the single really worst thing that's happened during the administration of Tashara Jones. I just do. I think it's just, it's such an unforced error, and I just don't understand it, to be more than anything else, because there's nothing about Tashara Jones's past that would suggest she always has been on the right side of these issues. I actually can't explain it, but their continued attitude of resistance and hostility to oversight is just inexplicable.
What I can't, okay, they offered this opportunity, and the people who were going to be on this board took advantage of this opportunity. And I don't think that the mayor's office put this spin on it that was out there, like they had, toured the entire place and all that. So I don't know. Maybe, Reverend Darrell Gray and the rest, maybe they're happy with it. Maybe it's progress. I
like Reverend Darrell Gray.
So do I.
Everybody does.
Yeah, and he has a fine, long history. But this is disappointing. I mean, I thought he should have been there saying, we won't tolerate this anymore. We went and had the training we're supposed to have, and we still can't see anything.
And the training itself is a joke.
Remember the reverend part, okay? He is not a watchdog. He is not, he sees himself as somebody who is doing a service to his community. He's not going to put a negative spin on it.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
going to put
he
in
will.
my
He does.
right, but in this particular instance, I think he's going to put a more positive spin on it.
And if they have told them we are working up to full tour
he
and
will
all
believe
that,
it. He will go for
and
it.
I would believe it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But they should have said that.
Right.
They're not.
Wendy,
But they're not. You made a point.
But
they
we don't know, because what
I
I'm
think
saying
we
is
know.
that because I'm thinking that I'm not on Bill's level of manufacturing, but I'm thinking that, well, why are they kind of saying, all right, we'll take this first step?
The whole
and
thing.
maybe they're under the belief that there will be another step.
The entire
final topic. Wendy Wiese, your family's going to go on the Polar Express this weekend.
Yep.
Chris Negus, former reporter for Channel 4, recently took a tour, and he got out his cell phone and he showed all the trash along the route to Santa Claus. The story went viral. It was picked up by media outlets across the country. The city promised that they're going to clean it up, so that's a good sign. But I was surprised in the Twitterverse how many people said, get over it, Chris. This is part of an urban environment. This is what happens when you live in a big city. You get a lot of trash.
I actually agree with the Twitterverse then. I really do. It's not Six Flags over Mid-America. This is St. Louis. This is a major metropolitan area, post-pandemic major metropolitan area. It has its issues like every other city. It's not, it's not about that. I think I do believe that they will go to, maybe a greater extreme to clean it up for the Polar Express. But LHM and the fact that they do this kind of thing, and good luck getting tickets. So I don't think that the trash is going. We had to get them in the summertime. The trash is not going to keep people away from the Polar Express. They're realistic about it.
Excuse me, and your family will experience a lot of people downtown.
That's right.
Go to downtown, they're part of downtown.
I hope so.
And hopefully, God willing, it'll be a safe happy visit. I think you can we have enough of an inferiority complex, I guess, that there's just a natural thing. It's like, there's some trash. Let's video it, you know? And I mean, it's like, I know you've done it. I know you've done it. I know some people have done it.
And Lady Bird Johnson,
have done it.
the late great Lady Bird Johnson.
Like,
you go to other cities and you just don't see
yes,
it.
You do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We did not invent
That's where
trash.
the children are on a little train, and that's why the city is going to clean it
Charlie,
up.
the City of New Orleans, the song, Glenn Campbell, Gentle on My Mind. When they describe what you see out of the window on the train, it ain't Forest Park.
No, it's not lollipops.
Come on, man, it's
not
trash.
it's not the famous.
And I would never
Christmas
defame
scenery.
someone who videos trash.
All right. I'll tell you what, we're going to give you a little more information on how you can join us, not on the Polar Express. Have a good time, Wendy. But April the 11th at the Sheldon, where there won't be any trash. Otherwise, we'll see you just around the corner and next week at this time. Thanks a lot.
Donnybrook is made possible by the support of the Betsy and Thomas Patterson Foundation and the members of 9PBS.
Welcome back. We hope that you enjoyed yet another exciting conversation with the Donnybrookers. And I just want to take the moment to say thank you so much to all of you who support us. Thank you for you that are members, and thank you so much to all of our new members that join us right now, tonight, because your tremendous support and your generosity helps us to continue the work that we do, providing program and content like Donnybrook, like you've watched right now, and a lot of your other favorites like Nature, Nova, or some of the cooking shows, like America's Test Kitchen, you know, anything that you see on our channel. Hopefully it reflects you and your story and your local, you know, you get to see St. Louis, and we like to connect with the community, and that's because of viewers just like yourself. And when you become a member or you choose to donate right now, we want to say thank you so much to you by sending you a little something. So at the $75 level, you will receive the option of a 9PBS mug or a ticket to see Donnie Bash live in person at the Sheldon Concert Hall. And that's on April 11th. That's right, it's a springtime Donnie Bash. I love spring and I love Donnie Bash, and I'm so excited to be there. So then at the $12 a month level, you will receive 2 tickets and the mug. That's right, there's not an either or in this one. You get both, 2 tickets and that mug. And that's at the $12 a month level, sustaining. That's an exclusive gift that you get. And you can give us a call or text GIVE at 800-568-9099. or go to our website, ninepbs.org. That's right, we make it super simple to donate either on phone or on the website, but you know, either way, you are helping to support us and help to do the community work, because right now, you know, you might see and watch our shows on TV, but guess what? We're not just a TV station, right? We do so much work in the community. And so we want to say thank you so much for helping us to continue that amazing, amazing work, because it is exactly because of viewers just like you. Right now, we're going to go back over for a final conversation with the Donnybrookers and Yale.
Thanks, Ern Mardia. We are back one more time at the big table to talk about Donnie Bash 2024, April 11th, 2024, at the wonderful Sheldon Auditorium. It's going to be a great night. Again, it's April the 11th, so we've got just a few more months to go for that. But there's a lot of things that could happen between now and April 11th, so I'm going to throw it out to the panel right now. What do you think we're going to be talking about in April of 2024?
New St. Louis Cardinal Juan Soto has hit his 5th home run in 4 games.
Well, there will have been 11 games played by now.
Could you be more specific?
And how about the rejuvenation of downtown?
Yeah.
In 5 months.
We hope so.
It could happen.
I think presidential
Crime continues to
politics.
reduce.
Yeah.
And the thing that it'll have just been a matter of a couple of weeks since Bill McClellan was the chair of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which brought it back.
That's right.
Of course.
All by itself.
And that's
That's
not
a good.
true. I'm
That's a
not
good
determined.
story. You should be.
I'm orange, right?
Oh, you're not. Oh, you don't get to. I apologize.
Right.
Martin Dugan
we're-
was. I
we're
think Martin
Ulster
Dugan did that one.
We're Ulster.
So did I.
people.
Are you going to protest?
Charlie Brennan?
No,
you were the
no,
parade.
I support the Irish.
I completely put my foot in his mouth, but Mr. Brennan here was the parade chair.
They had a very weak year in 2015,
That's right.
and
But I think
I was available. Hard to believe, but I was available. Yeah. You know, It's hard to find a news source that people trust. And do you know that for the last 20 years in a row, national pollsters have found that PBS is consistently #1 in terms of trust among Americans? Isn't that something?
That is not surprising, because when you go out and you talk to folks, and they will offer you that opinion. They'll say, you know, I've never watched PBS, I've never watched the News Hour before, but I love it. I love it. I get the sense that there's you know, absolutely no bias.
I think when either of us sits down and it's on, it's like you sit there and you say, like, I can't believe this is actually a news program. Right. So, like, this is the way it should be. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and let's not forget Sesame Street.
That's right.
The grandkids in my case.
That's right. That's right. And masterpiece.
It's a treasure.
And we really do. Channel 9 does a great job of keeping things PBS nonpartisan. But to your point about April 11th, I think, and a study of this, but having Donnie Bash during an election year
It's
can
electrifying.
be a little, you know, I'm not even sure what follows from that, except that it's an election year. And I think people are a little more, particularly that's about the time with the primary season.
Yep.
And it, you know, we don't know specifically what races will be in the news, particularly I'm thinking from our perspective, probably the Missouri races will be the ones that are getting the most attention. But,
Probably.
And it's speaking of which, it's so great to interact with the audience.
Very
And we'll talk about it on April the 11th. Back to you, Martia.
You know, one of the things I love about Donnybrook is it is a conversation about the community, right? It's a conversation about the St. Louis region and the things that the stories that we hear and that we live every day. And, you know, it's really about listening. And one thing I want to tell you is that we have listened to you, and right now we're in the middle of a membership drive, but, you know, we know sometimes that, you know, you don't love the membership programming, right? So we've listened to you and we've shortened that drive. So you might notice that we're only pledging for a week right now. So we still need your support though. So I want to express our thank you to you, you know, and you can still choose to donate and give us a call or text give at 800-568-9099. Or, though, you know, if you want to come to Donnie Bash, you can join us on April 11th at the Sheldon Concert Hall. And that's, April 11th at the Sheldon Concert Hall. You get, at a $75 level, you'll receive that ticket or that mug. I love, love, love that mug. You know, and then at the $12 a month level, you will receive 2 tickets. And that mug. That's right. It's not an option there. You get both, 2 tickets and the mug. And that is an amazing gift, either to yourself or to your loved ones. Give us a call right now or text give at 800-568-9099 or go to our website, 9pbs.org. That's NINEPBS.org. We hope that you join us at Donnie Bash. We hope that you become a member right now. And thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching.